Okay, so these Joy-Cons here, they look like they're official Nintendo ones. No, they're actually aftermarket ones. So this one here connects up fine, but there's an issue with this Joy-Con. So you're able to slide in, and it does work, as you can see here. However, when I take it out, it just doesn't pair to the system. And I tried disconnecting the controller and I tried that, and that did not fix it. So I think that's a fault with these. And these were brand new from, literally from a, what looks to be a genuine box. But you see here, clearly, it's okay, yeah, the latch on is broken on this as well. So I'm able to slide it in. So this one here is able to slide. And now it says that the battery is fully charged, as you can see here. And when we take it out, it does light up on here. I think it's just the wireless signal not working. So this is more like a wire controller. So it has to actually stay on the console. So that means that if I sell this after getting my Switch 2, which the Switch 2 does support these Joy-Cons here. And I have the Joy-Con charging stand and 2 Joy-Con charging grips. So that's not a lost cause. I can still charge these. It's just that the only reason I got the charging stand before is because, yeah. This should be player 1. Yes. So I don't want these to get mixed up. As you can see here, it does work. Now, my OLED Nintendo Switch Joy-Con grip is slightly different. This is the other one I have. These are worn out. So this one here is slightly newer, but yeah, this one here is a lot more worn out. Because when I see these in the kiosk before, since so many people use them, it becomes so transparent. So yeah, it became so transparent. And yeah, if I can, I'm not sure I can find my other Joy-Con grip. But my other Joy-Con grip is slightly different. So, but the other Joy-Con grip, which is just standard Joy-Con grip, will actually have a gloss on the Switch logo. So I can also plug these in here. And these don't even have a grip. So that's a bit of an annoying part. Since those don't have a grip, I don't really have a way to charge them without using the charging stand there. So I plug these in. Now it doesn't actually matter which way to go in. I plugged them in this way and it works. And you don't even need to hold the release button to take these out because there's no like catch on the side. So for this Switch OLED, I am getting new Joy-Cons. New Switch Joy-Cons to replace these really crap ones. Because although I like these, they're not great. Although I could use them for as a shell for this one. See, this one has a crack. But since this one here also has a broken latch for both, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this as on the Joy-Con grip. So, yeah. Now on these aftermarket Joy-Cons, I find that sometimes on these aftermarket Joy-Cons, the right Joy-Con color would randomly switch to blue, neon blue. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes it does that, and it's probably just because of the board that's been put in here. Now I'm pretty surprised for these for these aftermarket Joy-Cons. I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't put a patch to where using these type of controllers doesn't work. Yeah, these are clearly working. Now I'm not even sure why they're charging, even though the charging plug's not plugged in. Like, you think that you only charge if you plug the charger in, like that. And when you unplug it, they stop charging. These ones keep charging. Weird. So if I go ahead and plug these in, you see these don't charge until I actually plug in the charger. See? As soon as I unplug it, they stop charging. So that's kind of a weird quirk. Kind of a weird quirk, so. And the fact that these normally freak out on the grip, on this grip when it's charging, they normally freak out. So. And plus, I have these aftermarket Pokemon controllers. These are much more easier to tell because if you look at the light, they're a lot more brighter. So, yeah. And the fact that I have these battery packs that can be recharged, and these are very similar to the kiosk Joy-Con thing. Very similar. So, if I plug this one in, you can see it does appear as a great Joy-Con. And it does say paired. And if I take this one out, where's this one? You can see this one pairs up. Right there. So there is definitely a problem with this Joy-Con here. Clearly it's not working. However, if I slide this one in, and then remove it, ooh. 2, 4, 6, 8. We already got 8 controllers connected. That's why it's not connected. So, I'm going to change grip order and click back. Now, if I go ahead and turn this on, so, and now this one should turn on. Yes, this turns on. And this one's going to be paired with this. Like that. It's just a problem with this Joy-Con here. So this Joy-Con, and plus, I don't think the GameStop will want this. We'll want want a third-party controller. And since this one here is lonely, I'm just going to throw that away as well. These, it would just have to be paired like this. So. Now I'm going to go over here, disconnect controls. Now I need that Type-C cable again. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. And I need to get my other controllers. Okay, not good. Not a good start not a really good start. So I think for these Joy-Cons here, I have to use this. So I'm going to go ahead, take these off, and then put these on. And I changed the colors on these, so unplug those, and then slide these back in. So get this one, I just plug it in. I guess this one's already paired. Oh, and just started pairing. This one. Yep. The Switch 2 will have pair sounds, luckily. I actually don't get why Nintendo didn't add the pair button sounds back. So, it's kind of annoying. Now, I have a feeling that if I do trade this in using these Joy-Cons, GameStop might figure out that these are aftermarket Joy-Cons. Because look, on the Pokemon one, there's no Nintendo logo. This one here has a boxed up Nintendo logo. So I feel they're gonna catch on to the fact that these are not original controllers, but we'll have to see, because they probably will only want to take these type of controllers. They probably only want to take these type of controllers. And it's kind of cursed to see these on a charging grip like this, because like on the kiosk display before they removed it, they had it in a separate strap thing. So, and if I take these off and put these in, These different batteries, I just need to allocate a charging cable for these. But yeah. That's the thing. They really are messed up. So luckily, I do have this cable with this adapter, so I'll be able to use that on this one. But finding other USB-C cables is going to be difficult. So especially ones that don't have that dongle thing. So because you need like a USB-C, USB-A cable. So actually, I do have one from walkie-talkie. I'm going to swap that out with the USB-C one. I don't want to just fill in my hamper for some reason. And I didn't realize how. Alright.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you get, what, 11th place? They're so happy, and it's like...
So... this is not great, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then wake these up. So normally these will be plugged into the dock. For the OLED dock, they must have a hub that's connecting these two to a hub that's connected to the switch itself. And then for every one of these controllers connected to Type-C as well, Type-C to charge as well. And yeah. And actually, I can plug this in, but this is only a hub. So I could technically plug the two switch controllers in, and it does work. I don't have a lot of USB-C cables, so this will probably be like going to this controller right here. That's probably what will be happening. I do have an extra cable, so let's grab that, I guess.
So many people.
If I can grab it. There we go. Got this one here. And then we're gonna go ahead and plug this in. So normally on the kiosk controller, you have this plug tethered in, and then this plugging like this. So now the Nintendo Switch 2, well, the vibration mode will act like a speaker. So when you press it, you'll hear an actual sound from it instead of this vibration. Because if I put this, say, on my keyboard, you hear it. But if I put it on my bed, you don't really hear it. So that's the big upgrade that they're doing. And I bet they're probably gonna have the Switch 2 dock kind of in a similar way, except instead of these sliding Joy-Cons, they're gonna have the magnet type Joy-Cons with the charging stuff, and probably have a hub for the Joy-Cons, then one USB port going directly to this controller. That's probably what's gonna happen. So it's probably what's actually gonna happen. So yeah. Oops. Clearly, this looks a little bit cursed, but it has to be done. But yeah, anyways, that's it.